All right, let's talk about it. When it comes to dating or even choosing your circle of friends, there are certain types of people you just don't want to be around. I'm saying this as a man myself, and I've seen firsthand how red flags or certain things can mess up relationships, friendships, and even lives. In this video, I want to dive into, in my opinion, the top 5 red flags to look out for in men. And this is coming from a man myself. So the reason I'm making this video is because 2 reasons. A, for any women watching this video, I want to help you girls out. And B, for guys in general, if you're, meet a guy and in terms of like you want to be his friend or just choosing your friends wisely, I'm going to talk from a perspective of surrounding yourself with friends you want to be around, as well as for the girls out there. I want to give you guys some, guidance on what type of men you should avoid. So top 5 red flags, in my opinion, in men are, the first one, without a doubt, is a victim mentality. I can't stand a dude who blames everyone else for everything but himself. And the reason why this one, in my opinion, is important is because when I was younger, I used to have kind of a victim mentality. I think a lot of people do, men and women, in today's day and age. And as a man especially, you do not have the right to have a victim mentality, right? If you are outside and you get rained on, it's your fault. Can you control the weather? No, but you should have brought an umbrella, right? So a man who always blames others is like a driver who, keeps wrecking his car and insists it's always the road's fault. If you know a guy and he always gets a new car and he crashes it like 3 times, like, it's probably your fault, bro. You know what I mean? If you know a guy that's, worked at a bank or worked at this job and this job and this job, and he worked at 5 jobs, he got fired from all 5, it's probably you, bro. You know what I mean? So the reason I bring this stuff up too is because, like, I'm speaking from the perspective of, if I had a sister, which I actually do, but if I had a sister, if I had a daughter, would I want them to date someone like this? And my answer would be no. Right? You don't want to be around a guy that always has an excuse for why he's not successful, happy, or in shape, and never, quite frankly, takes ownership of his mistakes. If something goes wrong, it's always someone else's fault. This matters because if he can't take accountability in life, he's not going to take accountability in a relationship either, and he's not going to be the leader you need for your family. The second red flag that I would say overall is he lacks purpose and ambition. A ship without a destination will drift wherever the wind takes it, and if a guy's not working towards anything in life, just coasting, whether that's, career, sports, hobbies, relationship, knowledge, really anything, dude. If he's not working towards anything in life and he just wants to plop on the couch and just do jack nothing, to me, that's a red flag, because to have a family in 2025, to be a provider to some extent, or at least be a leader, you have to have purpose and ambition, right? So if the guy doesn't go to the gym at all, or he doesn't take care of himself, I mean, that's just, like I said, it's just not a good sign. He's killing time. And if you date a guy like this, or as a man, if you befriend him, he'll likely pull you into that same aimlessness. Always wanting you to sit around and drink and not do anything. This matters because a man without a mission is a man without direction, and that leads to a stagnant, unfulfilling life. The third one, and like I said, some of these apply to both genders. I'm not trying to say only guys, but, if a guy's dishonest or always hiding things. You ever know someone where you ask someone, like, hey, like, what'd you have for breakfast? He's like, oh, I had Lucky Charms, but he had, like, Fruit Loops. Like, people who just lie out their teeth for no reason. Like, bro, why are you lying? So a man who lies or keeps secrets is like, it's just not a good sign, right? It's regularly lies about small things. You can't trust his word. And as a man, you have to mean your word. If you say you're going to do 100 push-ups, you better do 100 push-ups. If you say that you're going to lose 30 pounds, you better lose 30 pounds. If you say that you're going to go get this job or go get a new job or get that promotion, you better go get it. The reason why this is important is because if a man is hiding aspects of his life, whether it's past relationships, friendships, finances, something like that, it creates a sense of doubt or paranoia in the relationship due to that lack of transparency. And dishonesty is the foundation of a toxic relationship. If he's hiding things from you, there's a bigger issue underneath that could lead to betrayal. And I think this is important because this is one of the rules that I have in my relationship, and I told my girlfriend this when I met her, is like, I'll never lie to you. Like I'm not perfect. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm never going to make mistakes and I've never will make a mistake. But what I did tell her is I will never lie to you. If you ask me a question, I will give you the honest answer. And I think that's important and it builds trust because, that's kind of like, I think there's a verse in the Bible talks about like building a house on sand versus rock, something like that. It's the same thing with like relationships. If you're going to build a relationship on lies, it's not going to last long. It's just not, it's a ship that's eventually going to crash. And the fourth red flag is when a man has no emotional control, right? So whether it's like severe anger issues, mood swings, and manipulation, things like that. And like I said, this could also apply to women too. But a man who can't control his emotions is literally like a grenade with a pin halfway pulled. You never know when it's going to blow, right? He's throwing tantrums over small things, reacts aggressively when challenged, emotional outbursts to manipulate people. And the reason why this isn't good, and this applies to both relationships, this applies to friendships, this applies to business partners. There's like a famous painting or picture. I've seen it like on I think I've seen it in like 2 different people's houses. But you ever see that painting where I believe it's like a wolf is like lunging towards like a bird to eat it, but the bird like was flying to the side, so the wolf is now falling over the cliff. All that really is saying is like reacting and making bad decisions when you're emotionally, say, mad or like you're very angry. And that's one thing that I've actually worked on a lot because when I was younger, I would get mad about certain things and I would get like really angry about it. And I'm not saying you can't, be angry, you can't be mad internally, but how you react and how you project that is very important. And I believe it's way better for a guy to have some type of stoicism, meaning he's able to control his emotions and not let his actual emotions affect his rational thinking and decision skills. And that's very important because if you're a guy, you have a girlfriend, you have a family, like you have to be able to, be somewhat of a leader and be like a good role model for your kids. And you don't want your kids around a dude who's going to be, having these crazy outbursts, not be able to control himself. And like I said, that applies to even friendships, especially to friendships actually, because this is one thing that I've always said, like, people should never look for violence. Nothing irritates me more than dudes who just go to, like, bars and will, like, try to instigate stuff with people and, like, try to start fights. Like, dude, you're just an idiot if you do that. Like, you never know what people have anymore. Like, violence should always be a last resort. Like, you do not want to be around guys who are quote-unquote trigger happy or like wanting to start fights with people, start violence, instigate stuff. It's just not something you want to be around because then you get pulled into it, right? And the last red flag, I would say, basic lack of respect for others. Treats people, below him like utter trash, right? You go out to eat, disrespectful, maybe he doesn't get what he wants and he just treats you like trash, acts entitled, just no basic human decency. That's just not something you want to be around. Like I said, whether it's friendships or a romantic relationship with a man. And the reason why it matters is because if he lacks empathy and kindness, it's really only a matter of time before that side of him is directed at you. And I really think those 5 are some of the big ones. I mean, there's other ones that are obvious and have been talked about on the internet before, but I think those 5 are something that you really should watch out for, whether it's romantic relationships or friendships, business partners, things like that. And at the end of the day, girls, who you date and who you surround yourself with has a massive impact on your life. Red flags, they aren't always obvious at first, but once you start recognizing these patterns, you'll see them everywhere. So if you're a girl, I hope this helps you avoid unnecessary heartbreak. And if you're a man, take this as a self-check, right? Are you showing any of these signs? And really use this as a way to vet your friends too, because birds of a flock fly together, right? You don't want to, as a guy, you do not want to surround yourself with other guys that attribute traits like this, whether that's dishonesty or laziness. Like, it's just not something you want to be around. So at the end of the day, the people in your life either pull you up or drag you down. So choose wisely. Now, I'd love to hear from you guys. Have you ever experienced any of these red flags in relationship, girls out there, or friendships maybe? What was the deal breaker for you? Drop a comment below and really let me know your thoughts. I'm really curious to hear your perspective. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe for more content. Also, share this video with someone who might need to hear it. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.